Let's get some analysis on this. Nahal Toosi is a foreign affairs correspondent at Politico. She joins me now in the studio. Nahal, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
Now, traditional legal jeopardy would unlikely see a president commit the crime that he's being investigated for an impeachment. Is Trump really thinking that he'll be held accountable for this, or just sailing through, do you think?
Trump has these amazing political instincts, and so far they've often worked, and they've often gone against the conventional wisdom. But basically doing this crime, if you want to call it that, in public is something that's so against the conventional wisdom that I'm not sure that it'll work this time around. But he seems to just be willing to try it because he wants to be different, and he feels like his brash approach to things has worked with him with the Republican base, and he's counting on them to stick by him. So I think that's why he's just going out there and saying these things.
So explain to our international viewers how that might work in terms of an impeachment inquiry. I can see certainly how that works on an election standpoint, but how does this actually work in terms of creating an impeachment based on public opinion hearsay?
Well, look, impeachment is not based on public opinion. It's a political process, but it's one that's in our Constitution. And so, for him on that level, it doesn't really work. If anything, House Democrats are going to look at the things that he has said recently and say, you know what, we need to pursue this even more. We have even more reason to go after him in this process in our political system through the House and then through the Senate. That being said, I just don't think that the Republicans are going to ever convict him when it comes to impeachment and try to remove him from office. I don't think that's going to happen. But the more he goes out there and says these things in public, the more likely it is that House Democrats and maybe even some Republicans in the House will at least vote to impeach him.
Now, what Trump seems to be basically saying here to the public is, if this was so bad, I wouldn't be talking about it. He seems to be normalizing his actions that used to once be seen as unpresidential. What does this mean for the future of American politics? Do you think that future presidents could perhaps reshape the way that presidents actually operate in the same way that Trump has?
I think that is really one of the key questions that everyone in this country is grappling with right now. I do think that Trump is going to have long-term influence on the way presidents act, especially their relationship with social media and other ways in which they communicate with the public and, say things that take down some sacred cows. I mean, I just think we're going to see presidents in the future act against the norms. But are they going to do things that are impeachable? I don't know. As an American, I would hope not. I would hope that would not become a norm. But I do think a big piece of that we're going to see answered next November. If Trump loses, especially if he loses big, that will be a lesson that presidents in the future will learn.
Okay, Nahal, thanks so much for your time. Nahal Toosi there.